Hey, I'm Brian. I'm one of the co-team leaders out in Atlanta West, and this is my team leader Wyatt Jang.
Hi.
He'll be out in Las Vegas leading two teams out in that branch, and he'll also be my divisional by the end of the summer. So what we're gonna do here is I wrote down 8 questions that first years usually ask. So I'm going to put it up on YouTube. So you can just go ahead and watch the YouTube videos, quick 3-4 minutes, as opposed to always asking that question, texting to me. So really, the first one asks, how does it feel living in a complete different city? And why do you want to say something about that first?
Yeah, I loved it. My first summer, I'd never been very far away from the East Coast, and I had to go out to Baltimore, which was completely different environment than what I'm used to. Big city, I surfed, there was no waves, as well as all the other people that went out with me my first summer. We were from Wilmington, and most of us were in college at Wilmington so that we could surf. And so being 250 miles away from the ocean is a lot like being, 500, 600, 700 miles away from home, because that's where I spent most of my free time. And what I gained was the experience of being able to go into a different culture, a different type of environment and community, and face that adversity and overcome it. Although that, there's some bumps along the road, I look back and tell myself, well, if I can go and sell in Bethesda in Rockville to $600,000 homes to executives of Boeing and the National Institute of Health, I could do anything. So I would say that has a lot to do with not only my success with Aptive, but as an entrepreneur and also as a student, because I was willing to adapt to those changes.
Okay. Well, my favorite part about going to a different city really was sold in Phoenix last summer. I really never planned on living in Phoenix for 3 months.
I set that up.
Yeah, and it was awesome. We went cliff diving. The homes out there were awesome. They had, mansions off mountains. They had smaller Hispanic-looking homes. It was really cool looking at different cultures out there, and it was awesome. So the second question really is, how do I talk to my parents about coming out this summer?
Yeah.
So
you can go
yeah,
first.
with me, a lot of the younger guys, obviously, you have to talk to your parents about it. And being a 19-year-old last year, asking my mom, she was not about it. She wasn't about me, her favorite son, going all the way out to Phoenix for 3 months, not
Is there
seeing
another
it.
son?
Oh, there's Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Going all the way out to Phoenix, doing door-to-door sales when it's commission. And moms are always the parent that's safe with their kid. They don't want their little baby going all the way out there.
That's right.
And I told her, Mom, I'm 19 years old. If I want to really do this and I want to go and work with these leaders and mentors, I'm gonna do it. And really, at the end of the day, she respected my opinion on it, and we talked it out. She talked to my team leader Kyle last year, and we worked it out.
That's awesome. I'm glad they did too, because Brian was very successful in his first summer and will be even more successful in his second summer with us as a manager. I typically look at 2 different aspects of having to speak with your parents. Number one is you should take a lot of pride in your future. Your future is something that you get to write your own script, your own book, etc. And so your parents got you to the point to where you could go to college on your own, study whatever you wanted on your own, unless they made you choose your major too. And so with that being said, you should be able to make your internship decisions on your own. You should be able to make your job decisions on your own. You should make your relocation decisions on your own. The interns and the reps that come out with us that have the most ties in terms of like back to their families, where their family just absolutely didn't want them to come out and things like that, they last a week and then they go home because they are not willing to take that extra step of responsibility. That is my first way that I look at it. My second way of looking at it is you're 18 years old. We don't hire anybody under the age of 18 years old. That's number one. Number two, we don't hire anyone with anything on a public record. Okay, so everybody that you work with in the summertime are outstanding students and citizens as well. Now, if they vote or not, that's up to them. The third thing that I like to look at in this second option is that we don't allow for any alcohol, any drugs, anything that is illicit in our apartments in the summertime, which is very important for the growth of all of our individual interns and sales reps in the summertime. And so with that being said, you're not going to be subject to doing the funky business basically every single night, as well as going out to your friends' apartments and whatnot on the weekends and getting into trouble. If you want the most controlled environment for your son, for yourself, for your daughter, for a summer internship, it is this. I know of many of my friends who've taken internships back home instead of coming out with us, and they did not reach that level of growth that they could have reached with us because they were still subject to the bars on the weekend. They're still subject to going downtown on the weekend, as well as their college friends. Separate yourself essentially from the average, and you will be moving above the average.
And the third question being said, hey, I've never been in sales. How do I know I'm going to do well? And this is something I get a lot.
Okay.
And what I tell all of my reps is don't ask and don't think, hey, I'm not going to sell because I've never been in sales. Think, am I going to make myself a good salesman? And really looking back to last year with Kyle McCullough, Mike Zaro, Connor Forth, hanging out with them at their apartments or their house in ECU, I was there every single day training, making sure when I go out there, I'm going to be a stud, selling 2 to 3 a day. And it's something you choose. It's exactly like sports. No one's going to go outside, play basketball, and become LeBron James.
That's right.
Kobe Bryant, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Kobe was in the gym from, 3 o'clock till 5.
3 a.m. until 5 a.m. And then he would go back to bed until, I think, 9 or 10. And then he'd go and do the team training in the off season from 9 to 11. Then he'd come back and eat breakfast. I mean, it was bizarre.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. And then he was in the gym all afternoon running pickup games and things like that, dominating his opponents.
Exactly. And it's just the work you're going to have to put in, whether that's calling your team leader, getting a training in every week, watching videos every other day or every day, looking into the mirror, pitching it to yourself. It's really all comes down to work ethic. And that's what I look into when I'm hiring my kids. And why, do you have anything to say, add on to that?
Yeah, my father works with Duke Energy. He is an engineer with them. He has been with that organization and other organizations that Duke has actually purchased in the past for over 30 years. And I asked him, do they switch over engineers a lot and linemen a lot? Because we switch over a lot of people from other sales organizations as well as other door-to-door companies. And he said, no, we don't. So I asked him why, and he said, we want people to come in as a raw talent, and we want to build them into the way that we do things so that we know at the end of the day, if there was a mistake, it was on our organization and our training methods, not on the individual, which limits the liability essentially for the individual. You will see that with some of the greater organizations and industries in all of America where they want to take kids from out of college. They want to take people that have never done a specific skill and train them in their way so that so that they have a baseline that they can work from in their training instead of trying to figure out what they know and what they don't know. Additionally, everything in life is a sale. If you haven't read the book Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone and you're planning on coming out this summer, you should. Because in relationships, you have to sell friends and family on why it's important to spend time with you as opposed to going and doing other things. In addition to that, you have to sell your friends and family on why you should be at work instead of doing things that they want you to do. And so everything in life is paid on a commission. The more that I spend time with my fiance, with my dog, with my parents, with my future children, the more that they're going to appreciate and the more that they would be willing to go out on a limb for me. If I don't spend any time with any of those people in my life, then they're not going to be as willing to help me out in the long term. Okay, and it's not really a situation where you're only doing things for a commission. You do things because you want to do things, and that's really important.
Awesome. This is a huge one. What are the benefits other than money? And I'll go ahead and start it off. Benefits other than money, work ethic. Huge. You're out there every day for, 10 hours, 9 hours?
Yeah.
Right around, knocking on doors. And
An average of 8 hours, to be honest.
Okay. Team training wise, 9 hours. So you're out there working commission job every day, knocking on doors. You're gonna bound. You're gonna end up with crazy work ethic. Nowadays, I can't. It feels weird when I'm not working from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 30 minute by 30 minute by 30 minute, and it just feels weird because it's in my body now to just work. And what about you, Wyatt, with the work?
Yeah, I'd like to go down a list again. I'm really structured in the way that I do things, and so I like to work on lists, unlike the awful lists that ESPN has released lately about like influential athletes and whatnot, which is garbage. But I like to use lists to explain. So number one, in the summertime, you will build incredible people skills. And you might say, I can talk to anybody at any time, but we take that and we refine it into every interaction that you make with a person is positive, as well as we teach you how to create compelling offers through that positivity, so that when you have to go and speak to that executive of a sports team, or you have to go and speak to that athlete, or you have to go and speak to even just your boss, whenever you walk into that door that you're going to be able to walk out with something better, whether it's pay, whether it's a position, whether it is a recommendation letter, etc. You are going to create that return essentially in a positive way instead of demanding it. You can't knock doors and say, buy this. You have to knock doors and build trust with somebody, and then you have to close the account. Most people will in turn be very appreciative of how open you were as well as positive you were in their day, instead of what we call buyer's remorse, where you buy a car and then you hate the salesperson because you didn't get the right price. Now, number two is going to be integrity. So most of you that are watching are probably between the ages of 18 to 24. And you know just as well as me and Brian both know that there are different things that will pull you into different directions. Whether it's going out with your friends on Thursday, whether it's going out with your friends on Monday. And so what we allow you to do is to build character through every interaction in the summertime. You'll be working with not only some of the best people in sales that you'll ever meet in your life, but you will also be working with the most ethical people in sales. We don't essentially fuzz up anything about our service, and we teach people not to do anything in that way. As well as you face a lot of rejection in this job, as well as you face a lot of rejection in life. And so we will teach you how to take that adversity and be able to overcome it effectively in a time-effective manner, instead of just, I don't want to go to work today. I want to go and sit in the corner because I'm trading hours for dollars. I'm going to go take more time doing my job so that I don't have to do as much today. We teach you how to effectively accomplish those goals. The third one, which Brian touched on, was work ethic. Not only will you work a good amount of hours with us in the summertime, which I think is awesome because I've had jobs before where I didn't get enough hours. With us, you can't have too many hours, which is really nice. And the way that we teach our work ethic is that you're not trading hours for dollars, okay? You and yourself are the one that will be out there working and creating your own pay for the day. And so you're going to be thinking on your feet. You have to train yourself in the summer. If you're consistently messing up, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You have to change it, and you have to further overcome that adversity, as I mentioned, in the integrity part. But the last thing, I find this to be the absolute most important for the long-term benefits of the company. In most industries, it will take you 10 plus years to gain a position of leadership. Whether that is through education, 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and 5 years of interning, residency, things like that. Or if you're going into the law route, 4 years of college, 3 years of law school, a year getting your MBA, and then you're a junior attorney, for many, many years. With us, we allow all of our interns to actually come back in their second year and be managers with our company, making manager pay in the summertime. Because we know, and we've done many studies on this, if you come out and sell 250 accounts with our company, you can teach other people to sell 250 accounts with our company. And that's really important for the long-term benefits, simply because you can put on your resume that you already have that leadership ability and those skills.
Yeah, I think you touched that perfectly with the long-term picture. With college students, for example, obviously you're not going to be out there as long as the other guys that graduated or aren't in school. So within the 12 weeks, if you sell 178 accounts, you're just as the same level as the other 250 reps. You're a team leader looking at the second year generating over $1 million in revenue. You're leading 20 first-year guys in sales at a different market or a different city. And, I mean, this is going to be my first year leading a team with Dan in Atlanta, and I can't wait to see how my guys, Kevin Williams, younger brother Kevin, guys like Caesar, how they do. And it's really cool with the long-term picture.
Yeah.
Can I get credit hours? This is a short question. Yes. You get 6 credit hours, I believe, for most of the major universities.
Up to 6.
So up to 6.
Yeah,
okay.
And you have to figure that out on your own with your own college. So you can't text us at the end of the summer and say, hey, where's my 3 credit hours? You have to go to your career center at your university, tell them what you did for the summertime, explain to them that it was an internship, and ask them the options for applying that internship to your education. We can supply you with recommendation letters, job descriptions, things that you did for the summertime, but it is up to you. It is your responsibility to be able to actually set that up, and then we will close it for you, because we're what I like to call cold-blooded closers.
Okay, so what's the pay? Why? I guess that's the number one question a lot of the first-year guys do ask.
Yeah.
What's the pay?
So in the summertime, you are not paid commission, okay? You are paid a base of $50 up front per sale. Our average rep in our division last summer sold 146 accounts, which means that they made between $7,000 and $7,500 up front in terms of base pay for the summer. Most jobs in the summertime, you'll make $10 an hour for 40 hours a week, okay? So that's $400 a week. Our reps that are average with our company will make $700 to $1,000 per week. In addition to that, we like to substantially compensate anyone who works with us in the summertime for how hard they worked in the summer with 2 bonus cycles. The first bonus is called our October 31st back-end bonus. That is where you would be paid $50 additionally per sale that you made in summer. So let's say that you went out and sold 200 accounts because it's just really easy math. We'll do 100. Keep the expectation low. You would make $5,000 up front in the summer. If all of those accounts were up to date on their bills in October, you'd get a $5,000 check in October. And then again on Christmas Day, December 25th, this is our Christmas bonus, you get an additional $50 per account. So you make another $5,000. So that's why you see guys like Brian, he go out and sell 100 accounts in the summer, make $15,000 in the summertime, which is 3 times the amount more than what a typical college student would make in a summer. Not only will you make more up front in a summer with Aptive, but the long term is that you will make that same amount of money in a form of a bonus in October and again in December. The reason, how we can do that is we're selling accounts for around $500. And overall, the sales rep gets a commission that's in base pay cycles, $50 per cycle. Does that make sense, Brian? Did I cover everything?
Yeah, I think you covered it perfectly. Yeah.
All
right, your favorite thing about working at Aptive, what is it?
You go first.
Okay, my favorite part, it starts with a quote. It's, show me who your friends are, and I'll show you where you'll be in 5 years. And honestly, in the beginning, I thought it was, hey, hang around with guys that drive Lambos, you'll drive Lambos.
Yeah.
But
I don't drive a Lambo.
No, our buddy Damon does, or my regional Damon does. But it's really, the longer I've been with Aptive, I've started to realize it's surround yourself with positive, hardworking, genuine guys that'll push you to, reach your full expectation every day. It's about that rather than how much money everyone makes. And that's my favorite part about Aptive, being around guys like my regional Damon, another team leader, Daniel, my team leader, Wyatt. Just guys like that. It's really cool. Do you have anything to touch up on
Way to
that?
finish the sentence off with some power.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that a lot of us managers, our favorite part is the money. And actually, what most of our favorite parts, because money will only get you so far. I think one of the most disappointing days in my life is whenever I got my first bonus from Aptive that was over $10,000. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is not as cool as I thought it was. Now I have to go and spend this and invest it or do other things with it. And it was kind of like that downward feeling. And so money is not going to get you essentially really anywhere in terms of happiness. And all of the major influencers will say the exact same thing. My favorite part about working with Aptive is that I can take guys like Brian, Noah Graham, and I can take their raw talent and mold them into being successful and to help them reach their unlimited personal potential through personal progression. I only do this work and I will do it for as long as they'll let me because I can take people and turn them into what they want to be. People who come out and work with us in the summer that are the quote unquote money hungry don't do well because they typically don't understand what it takes to be successful. In addition to that, the people that come out for the experience that want to go and visit a new city, work in a new environment, and surround themselves with success, in the long term, they become successful. If you are surrounding yourself with greatness, you too will become great. And that's my favorite part about Aptive is that I know every day I walk into the office and I'm around people that are as hungry as I am. Not really. As hungry as I am. And they're going to push me to try to work harder than them every single day. I get to this office every morning at 8 a.m. And by 8:30, somebody else is here. And so I know that I'm there 30 minutes before them. That means that I have to leave 30 minutes after them, just so that I know I worked an extra hour. That guy who comes in the office at 8:30, Kenny, Damon, Daniel, they're not leaving until 8:30 at night, okay? And so that means that I have to work until 9 p.m. to have worked a full hour more than they did. And that's the big difference with us, is that we don't push the whole 9 to 5. You can work as much as you want. You can work as little as you want in the off season. But over time, like with Brian was working 3 or 4 hours a day after the summer in management. Now Brian works 12 to 14 hours a day just because he knows what it takes to be successful. And Brian you love what you're doing right now, don't you?
Yeah. Creating leaders. It's really cool seeing guys like Kevin Williams text me, hey,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, taking a semester off, going with Aptive, reaching that 250 level, becoming a team leader second year. And it's my responsibility to, create a leader out of him because he gave me his trust. And it's really cool the fact that a guy like Kevin Williams, 18, 19 years old, and I see so much in him, and I can't wait to see what he's looking like in 4 years, what he's looking like in 5 years.
That's right.
It's really cool.
And so we actually, for guys that are sticking with us for 2, 3, 4 years, Aptive literally provides not only a program for the summer, but a program every single year in management to become successful with the company. I know people that I'm friends with that are outside of Wilmington that don't follow that. And then when it comes to the summertime, they have 1 or 2 guys and they have to go and join another team that they didn't want to go into an area with. Whereas on the East Coast, we're very religious on following that program so that we can go and sell in Las Vegas. That was my number 1 choice. Whenever I received the area that we got for the summer, I wanted to go out west. You can go to the Atlanta like Brian wanted to do, where there's a smaller environment and everybody gets to live in the same apartments. And so we set people up with that program so that they can reach, it's not only their goals, but also what they want to do in the summertime. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while we're on this, and me and Wyatt are talking, I'm sure a couple of your recruits and as well as my recruits are watching.
Sure.
So on camera, I want to have a little bet.
Okay.
If my Atlanta West team services more accounts during the summer, then you're doing Las Vegas East and West, right?
No, North and South.
Oh, North and South.
Yeah.
One of those teams, whichever
Here we
one
go,
you're
man.
with, you buy us dinner. You come out, fly out to Atlanta, and you take us all out to dinner.
What are the specifications of this bet?
Whoever sells more, services more during the summer.
In the entire summer, whoever services more.
Exactly, in the 12 weeks.
So if, let's say, Atlanta West services more than Las Vegas South, I have to go and buy you guys dinner in the last week of the summer.
Yep.
Okay, what if Damon goes and I pay for it?
That's a you and Damon talk.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
you and Damon talk. But
That's
if I
fine.
do lose, I'll go ahead and pay for yours.
Okay,
All right.
that's perfectly fine.
All right, guys, we gotta win.
Yeah, good luck. I've already got guys selling right now, so.
It's got to be the 12 weeks.
No, you didn't say that before the handshake.